8:24 p.m. Monday, August 2nd, 2021. This is called Parakeet Prophecy. No, it's called Profiting. Parakeet Prophecy. Parakeet to Prophecy. Bear gifts of fruit and happy greet. Go, entreat the parakeet. I don't think I'll go today. I doubt he'd hear what I should say. Things got so heated yesterday. I admit I lost composure at the cost of his exposure to words which so much I regret. Words too recent to forget. Words are careless when upset. I know I should have shown restraint, but he won't even hear complaint. I had the words inside my head. In hand, some seeds on which he fed, yet not today, is all he said. It's like he knew what I would say, the arguments that I'd convey, how unassuming I'd portray. Before I spoke, had he replied. Before I asked, I was denied. Not today, did he decide. Those very words, the only thing he's said since we've been offering. However to persuade we try. Always that two-word reply. Not today, no reason why. These days are hard to tell apart. From early start to slow depart, stranded off the ocean heart. Sunny sky is all one sees, and always balmy island breeze on lees of tropic sandy keys. Humanity, how we behave, some part of us that thinking gave, is lost between the ceaseless wave. Yet think me not still so obtuse, as though inventing an excuse, and humbled heart is more oblation than offerings of obligation. In fact, was I, let time remember, somewhere middle last November, who first would bend upon the knee, with all the honor left in me, in reverence for his prophecy. After once our vessel crashed, after on the rocks it dashed, once we salvaged what was stashed, of what provisions once aboard, which all our diving could afford, there seemed along not much to do, how quickly through eroded too, all the conduct of the crew. Once all the liquor quickly through, how soon the crew had rotted too. And even so was all before the chaos of the island war. Afterwards and by, we figured might as well to try. We daily die for keeping dry, but trying still can only die. Wherefore we set about a raft, and pondered for a watercraft. Bill can tell you he was there, deny it he would never dare. As yet our raft there on the beach, just from the water out of reach. But verily, these extra season, for nevermore another reason than to hear the prophet say, or how permission might convey, what day to make our getaway. While still we built upon the bay, I wondered when we'd set away. Bill said blankly, not today. Oh man, I worked out and greasy. Bill said blankly, not today. Prior days we gathered wood, wove tree bark to as best we could. Our labor made us optimistic, altogether altruistic. I later asked, no less simplistic. Bill maintained his realistic, not today, no less artistic. We toiled through the afternoon, the sun would be descending soon. My musing wonder still the same, again his candid answer came. Not today, of when we'll go, is all that Bill would claim to know. By when the sun upon the sea was resting momentarily, as from our verdant little island, loitering on the horizon, our work already past the jorn, so to resume the morrow morn, with all the work today had done, I asked out loud to everyone, what prior thrice had wondered, then Bill answered, not today again. But wanting not the mood to sink, with our completion on the brink, or courage ever yet to shrink, I asked before another blink, well, all right then, when do you think? Without between the least delay, his interjecting words would say, perched behind a little way, the prophet answered, not today. Perhaps he'd been there since the morn. Maybe prophets come to warn. Let me never feign so vain as ever trying to explain. But heretofore was always warm, sunny skies the ever norm, nor once another single hue throughout the day but baby blue, while nightly all the stars appear through skies of nightly crystal clear. The weather ever uniform, then suddenly a thunderstorm. The prophet finished what he said, then thunder rumble overhead. His voice, then not a moment more, before an instant thunder roar, with raining torrents shower pour. Strange how sometimes life presents things so immense in small events. Oh, this human ignorance! We pondered in some grander sense, yet settled on coincidence, a novelty and nothing more. Spontaneous beside the shore, the comedy of random chance, such humor had of happenstance. How clear in hindsight we appear! We run from thoughts that make us fear. We hide from what we can't explain, dismiss what we can't ascertain. Still hear me now, how I've professed. Note it now, how I've confessed. Only way to say it best, how providence was manifest. We merely failed to attest. That something sacred just occurred, such prophesying from a bird. The foresight of his color feather, correlated with the weather, surely his chromatic meant to symbolize the covenant. Wearing promise like a bow, his wisdom certainly will show, or otherwise to make us know what day will best for us to go. Well, if prior evening made his name, that next solidified his fame. With his first prognostication, as though his instant reputation, tomorrow blessed sanctification. Awaking, so our work transpired, and labored till the day expired, and by the evening we were tired, yet still a moment and admired what all the afternoon required, that still a moment we would stand, three of us upon the sand, for all the effort that we gave, soon to set upon the wave, and either so to our lives to save, or drift us on our water grave. We hardly yet to linger where our pause should only briefly stare upon our vessel lying there, when then, without the least invoke, neither once at all provoke, nor knew again that he was near until the prophecy we hear. From there again his perch behind, turning search again we find, for suddenly the silence broke, and not today, the prophet spoke. Just then again the thunder roar, as just as when the night before. How loud the blasting thunder boomed, and once more downpour rain resumed. My thoughts so instantly distinct. By gum, these two events are linked. For logic with our sight aligns, and sees with even humble kinds. Twice now, and here repeated signs, not reaching high for vineyard vines. This tattered pant leg under me, immediately on my knee, in deference to his prophecy. Then Bill, he knelt accordingly. Beginning then and ever since, in hopes we might his grace convince, day by day we come to ask, oh, I tell you on my flask, how gloriously does he bask. He somehow knows what day we don't. I've begged him tell me, but he won't. I've fed him, flattered, argued reason, while season slowly passes season. Whichever method I entreat, our blessings of the Parakeet, still not today does he repeat. I angrily began to shout and furiously stomped about. Why should we please place so much merit in your words, you stupid parrot? Why should we trust what you say? Why so long do we delay? Again, indifferent. Not today. Why, I shouted, tell me now, or I'll not feed you, that I vow. Perhaps I'll find another bird and see if he has kinder word. His grace, he had not more to say. His dignity would not betray. His class forbade his wound convey, but cocked his head and flew away. Bear also nuts within your hand, and claim them to my reprimand. Tell him more, if not today, how sorry I'm for yesterday. Then how today I'm only sorrow. Then try to see about tomorrow.